Good day! Welcome to Mathematics 7. Properties of integers. First is closure property. It states that if A and B are two integers, if we're going to add A and B or subtract A and B and multiply A and B, the answer is also an integer. Like for example, first we have 2 plus negative 3, that is equal to negative 1. Number 2, 5 minus 7 is equal to negative 2. And number 3, negative 4 times negative 5 is equal to 20. Again, meaning to say, for closure property, if you're going to add, subtract, and multiply integers, the answer is always an integer. That is closure property. Next is commutative property. It states that changing the order of two numbers that are being added or multiplied does not change the value. First, for addition, we have A plus B is equal to B plus A. So, we're going to change the positions, the locations of the two integers. And the answer is always just the same. Example, 2 plus 3 is equal to 3 plus 2. So, if we're going to add 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5. And for the right side, we have 3 plus 2, that is also equal to 5, meaning to say, they are just equal. For multiplication, we have A times B is equal to B times A. So if we're going to change the position or location of the two factors, it's either left or right, the answer is just the same. Example, negative 7 times negative 3, which is equal to 21, is equal to negative 3 times negative 7, which is also equal to 21. That is commutative property. Number 3, associative property. It states that changing the grouping of numbers that are being added or multiplied does not change the value. For addition, quantity A plus B plus C is equal to A plus quantity B plus C. So, you're just going to change the parentheses, the position of this grouping symbol, and it is just the same to the other side. Okay, example. Quantity 6 plus 2 plus 1 is equal to 6 plus quantity 2 plus 1. Wherein, we're just going to add first the left side, 6 plus 2, which is equal to 8, and then plus 1, that is 9. Same with, is it equal to 6 plus, so we're going to add first 2 plus 1, that is 3, plus 6, which is also equal to 9. Therefore, whether you're going to change the position of parentheses from left and right, that is just equal. For multiplication, we have quantity A times B times C is equal to A times quantity B times C. So, we have a grouping symbol again, which is parentheses. So, on the left side, we have the first AB, and on the right side, we have B and then C. Example, quantity 2 times 5 times 7 is it equal to 2 times quantity 5 times 7. So, if we're going to multiply 2 and 5, that is 10 times 7, which is equal to 70. Is it equal to this one? So, let's multiply first 5 and 7. So, we have 35. And then multiply it by 2, we have 70. So, they are just equal. And that is associative property. Number 4 is distributive property. It states that when two numbers have been added or subtracted and then multiplied by a factor, the result will be the same when each number is multiplied by the factor and the products are then added or subtracted. So, it's a little bit complicated. First, we have A outside, and that is being multiplied to the quantity b plus c, and that will be now equal to a times b plus a times c. So as you can see, we distribute from the word itself, distributive, distribute. We distribute a to b, and then just copy the operation symbol, which is addition. So we have plus and then plus, and then again distribute a to c. So you're going to multiply a and then c. Example, 6 times quantity 2 plus 5, that is now equal to 6 times 2 plus, since that is addition, and you have 6 times 5. So that is for distributive property in using addition. Another one, this time we have a subtraction symbol. So 8 times quantity b minus c, that is also equal to a times b minus, again just copy the symbol, a times c. So we distribute a, our first integer or first letter, first number, to the numbers or integers inside this grouping symbol. Example, 2 times quantity 4 minus 3 is equal to 2 times 4 minus 2 times 3. So that is an example of distributive property. Number 5, identity property. First, for addition, addition of 0 to a number does not change the number. So 0 here is our additive identity. A plus 0 is equal to 0 plus a, and that is also equal to a. What do we mean by that? Example, 6 plus 0 is equal to 6. So whatever number you're going to add to 0, that is always equal to the number itself. That's why identity. Okay? For multiplication, multiplication of number by 1 does not change the number. This time, 1 is our multiplicative identity. Again, 1 is what we called our multiplicative identity. 8 times 1 is equal to 1 times a. That is equal to still a. Example, 6 times 1 is equal to 6. So whatever number you're going to multiply to 1, the answer is always the number itself. That's why that is called identity. So that is an example of identity property. Number 6, inverse property. First, the sum of a number and its additive inverse is 0. Additive inverse is also called as opposite number. So, a plus negative a is equal to negative a plus a. So, that means if we're going to add any number to its additive inverse or to its opposite number, meaning to say you have different signs, the answer is always equal to 0. Example, 5 plus negative 5 is equal to 0. So you have positive 5, and if you're going to add it to its opposite or additive inverse, which is negative 5, that is always equal to 0. Next, the product of a number and its multiplicative inverse is 1. Multiplicative inverse is also known as reciprocal. A times 1 over a is equal to 1 over a times a is equal to 1. Here, a must not be equal to 0. So if you're going to divide 1 to any number, a must not be equal to 0. Example, 5 times 1 over 5 is equal to 1. So if our number is 5, its multiplicative inverse or reciprocal is 1 over 5. And that is always equal to 1. So that is an example of inverse property. Number 7, zero property. It states that the product of any number and 0 is 0. A times 0 is equal to 0 times A and is also equal to 0. For example, 0 times 13 is equal to 0. 27 times 0 is equal to 0. And last, 0 times negative 10 is equal to 0. Meaning to say, any number, any integer, that if you're going to multiply it to 0, the answer is always equal to 0. So that is what we call zero property. Again, for properties of integers, we have closure property, commutative property, associative property, distributive property, identity property, inverse property, and zero property. So those are the properties of integers.